It's the most quoted verse in churches across the world, a verse that has shaped sermons, prayers, and even entire doctrines. But what if I told you Jesus never actually said it? That's right. What if something millions believe to be the direct words of Christ were never spoken by him at all? Could it be a misinterpretation, a mistranslation, or is there something much deeper at play? Stay with me, because in there we're going to uncover the shocking truth behind this so-called most quoted verse. But that's not all. Along the way, we'll expose other verses that are often misattributed to Jesus and reveal what he actually did say instead. And trust me, you won't believe what we found. But before we reveal the verse, let's talk about why this happens in the first place. Why do so many people confidently quote words that Jesus never spoke? The answer might surprise you. The power of misquoted scripture. The Bible has been translated, copied, and interpreted for thousands of years, and with that comes human error, cultural influence, and yes, misconceptions. Many believers assume that if a verse is preached enough times, it must be straight from the mouth of Jesus. But history tells a different story. Consider this. Have you ever heard someone say, "God helps those who help themselves"? It sounds biblical, but it's not in the Bible at all. So if that's not from Jesus, where does it actually come from? And could the same be true for our so-called most quoted verse? Hold that thought. We'll get to it soon. But first, let's look at how errors like this have slipped into Christian teachings over time. Historical errors. You may be wondering, how can something Jesus never said end up being one of the most quoted verses? The answer lies in how the Bible was transmitted through history. From oral traditions to handwritten manuscripts, from translations into Latin and English, all the way to modern-day interpretations, each stage presents opportunities for errors or assumptions. Take, for example, the famous phrase, "Spare the rod, spoil the child." Many think Jesus said it, but did he? We'll answer that soon, but first, let's examine how translations may have influenced misquotations. How translations altered Jesus' words. Most of us read the Bible in our native language, but the original texts were written in Hebrew, Aramaic, and Greek. When you translate from one language to another, meanings can shift slightly or even drastically. For example, when Jesus spoke about love, did he use the same word for all kinds of love? The Greek New Testament uses multiple words for love: agape, God's unconditional love; phileo, brotherly love; and eros, romantic love. Some translations blur these distinctions. So what happens when this occurs with a famous verse? And here's something even more surprising. Some words attributed to Jesus in English Bibles aren't found in the earliest manuscripts at all, which brings us to the big question. What is the most quoted verse that Jesus never said? The most quoted verse. All right, it's time. The most quoted verse in churches today that Jesus never said is, "God will never give you more than you can handle." Sound familiar? It's quoted in sermons printed on Christian merchandise and used to comfort people going through hard times. But here's the truth. Jesus never said those words, not once. So where did it come from? Some believe it's a misinterpretation of 1 Corinthians 10:13, where Paul writes that God will not let us be tempted beyond what we can bear. But temptation and suffering are not the same thing. In fact, Jesus often told his followers that they would face trials beyond their strength, but he also gave them the key to overcoming them. And what he actually said might shock you. What Jesus actually said, instead of promising that life will never be too much to handle, Jesus said something radically different. "In this world, you will have trouble, but take heart, I have overcome the world." John 16:33. Notice the difference. Jesus didn't say, "You've got this." He said, "I've got this." He didn't promise we'd be strong enough on our own. He promised he would be our strength. And if we misunderstand this truth, it can lead to serious consequences, which we'll explore next. Consequences of misquoting Jesus. What happens when Christians build their faith on verses Jesus never actually spoke? The consequences can be devastating. People struggling with overwhelming challenges may feel like failures when they believe God won't give them more than they can handle, but they can't handle it. So what should we do instead? The answer lies in Jesus' actual words, and his real message is even more powerful than the misquoted ones. Let's look at more verses often attributed to Jesus, but never actually spoken by him. You won't believe some of these. Other verses Jesus never said. Here are 3 more verses often misattributed to Jesus. 1. Money is the root of all evil. The Bible actually says, the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil. 1 Timothy 6:10. Big difference. 2. Cleanliness is next to godliness. That phrase isn't in the Bible at all. 3. Hate the sin, love the sinner. While this idea aligns with Christian principles, Jesus never said it in those exact words. And there's one more commonly misquoted phrase that completely changes the way we understand Jesus' teachings. But before we get to it, let's talk about how you can avoid falling for misquotes in the future. So, what have we learned today? We've uncovered one of the most widely quoted but incorrect verses, explored how translation errors contribute to misinterpretations, and exposed several other phrases often wrongly attributed to Jesus. But most importantly, we've discovered that Jesus' actual words are far more powerful than any misquote. So next time you hear a verse being quoted, ask yourself, did Jesus really say that? Because the truth is always worth seeking. If you found this eye-opening, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. We've got even more revelations coming up. Until next time, keep seeking the truth.